we're growing up in. And the only way we can change it is by embracing that. So that mindset, that relentlessness, that craziness, and really facing reality of what it's going to take to achieve your dream is something that I think we all have to have if we really, really, really trying to get it, not trying to play around. The road to the bag is definitely tied to your team and the company that you keep. Really take some time and really look at who you're surrounding yourself with. Look who's to the left and to the right of you. Are they like-minded? Are they disciplined? Are they pushing you forward? It's so simple for us to solve this. A lot of the hardest problems are so easy to solve. We just have to take those steps, which are hard. And be mindful of that, because trust me, that energy is going to affect you. If you're around thugs and gangsters, you're going to be in jail. If you're around cats talking negative, you're going to be negative. If you're around God and some money, you're on your way. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. But you have to be ready. You got the same 24 hours. You got to use your time wisely, and you have to be ready to really, really do the things other people aren't trying to do. And those are the simple things. Educating yourself. Everybody asks me, what's the number one thing you could tell anybody here? You got to start with education. One of the things that we can't really move forward right now as a people is not just of the situations that we're in. We don't even have knowledge of self. The educational part of it, we got to get back into reading. I know it sounds simple. Let's do a chapter a night. Make yourself do a chapter a night. That's
what is going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? If y'all could do me a favor and just go drop this link. Just drop this link. Let some people know that we are here for today's call. I want to say thank you for each and every single one of you all for taking the time to be here on this beautiful Tuesday morning, April 4th. We are literally in the second quarter of 2023. I just want you to drop some affirmations as we allow this audio to play for a little while longer, as we wait for some people. Today's call has a lot of value. There's a lot of things that we have to cover. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a little flustered, right? So I don't blame you for also being a little flustered on today's call. I'm not lying. There is a lot of stuff happening very, very fast. And I want each and every single one of you all to be able to plug into this. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. This is our 94th episode as we are on our way to episode number 100 on April 20th. I just want you guys to light up the chat box with some coffee, send this link out to a friend, a family member, somebody that you care about, because you do not want them to miss this value. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, the 94th episode. If you're live on YouTube, please stay plugged in, smash that subscribe button, tap a like, and we'll see y'all in the next few minutes. Let's get it.
The power is right here in your mind and right here. And if you're not filling this thing up, you don't stand a chance. I want you to have your own. I don't want you to just work for me. I want to be a partner with you. But you got to be a beast like me. And most importantly, you have to be a beast like you. You got to understand, I used to walk around. I was telling Prez the other day, I used to walk around and just talk to myself. I'm walking from one job to another, and I would just be talking to myself, talking about, the things that I dreamt and I wanted to be. And this right here goes out to all them people. Y'all know who y'all are, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You're talking to yourself and talking about how you want to get it and what you want to be. And this is something that's big. I'm one of the crazy ones. So, but there's a lot of people that understand that dream is so heavy and bubbling in you. It's like you got to get it out. I've definitely been having like some personal breakthroughs in my life, and just on the man in the mirror side of things, just taking accountability for me being happy, for me being balanced, and also me growing as a person. And I think when you get closer to God, you're happier, and when you get closer to the knowledge of yourself, and you're not afraid to go on that journey to find out how messed up you are, how good you are, but your overall result is that you want to be a better man, a better father, and it puts you in that spirit. I loved what I was doing. I decided if I was going to do a job, I loved what I was doing. I would walk around, I would dance and sing as I was delivering my papers. And that kind of helped me for the future of what I wanted to do. And that was just being a young entrepreneur.
Let's go.
I thank God every day that I'm blessed with the chance
Let's go.
to do something that I love doing. But I feel anybody can do something that they love doing if they go after it in the right way. If they go after it with the love. The motivation for it is the love and the love of leaving a legacy behind more than the selfishness.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all do me a favor and go drop this link. We're going to get started in 1 minute. I got a lot of stuff to cover today. And look, I don't have time. People know it's 10 a.m. All right. They choose not to be here. So with that being said, congratulations to the one that choose to be here. We're going to get started in less than 1 minute, guys. And today I'm going to blow your mind. Let's go.
So just doing it for money, or doing it to blow up, or to be the man or the woman, or to have the fame. If you do it to make history, if you do it to change people's lives, to make people feel good, to make yourself feel good, it's just gonna come naturally. Man, there ain't no ego in getting this paper. Feel me?
Let's go.
If you want something bad enough and you got that desire, you'll walk to another state or country if you have to. When I was coming up in the game, if I couldn't do the little job, I could never get to the big job. All the entrepreneurs out there, don't make risky decisions, make smart decisions.
Man, let's get to this bag, man. Diddy got me fired up right now. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. Guys, we are literally about 7 episodes away from 100 episodes. Today is episode number 94. Okay, we're like 6 episodes away. Sheesh. Can somebody drop some coffee in the chat box for that? The level of commitment that we've had on this show. Guys, I want to make sure that I read this disclaimer to you guys. We got to start, now that we're getting into 100 episodes, I have to start reading certain disclaimers to the team. Someone gave me a warning, so we're going to start this disclaimer straight like this. This information is for educational purposes only and not for financial advice. Cryptocurrency investments is highly risky, and you should only invest funds you can afford to lose. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and prices can be volatile due to various factors. Please conduct your own research and seek advice from a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. We don't guarantee the accuracy or completeness of this information, and we're not liable for any loss or damage resulting from its use. By assessing this information, you agree to these terms. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, the #1 cryptocurrency morning show in the world. If you can turn your cameras on, would love to see those beautiful faces and smiles this morning, but I know we're all in different spaces and places, so there is no pressure to turn those cameras on. But for the ones that can, thank you. What up, Kanira? What up, brother? What up, Brandon? Yes, sir. Got the gas rolling. What up, Mom? What up, Miss Zuli? All right, cool, cool, cool. So we are in our bag this morning. Guys, I want to tell you all that I've increased my bag on the H-bar, something crazy over the last night. I have decided to focus on the H-bar. H-bar is making some crazy, crazy things happen in the space right now. And today's program, today's podcast is really going to be a deep dive into Hedera hash graph. But before we get there, we have a lot of world events. Now, remember, on Coffee and Crypto, it's not just about crypto. We really give real life world events, things that can help you learn how to, I would say, go through where we're going right now, guys. The dollar is fastly losing its value, super fast. And you need to know what you need to do, all right, in these times. That's why you want to be plugged into communities like this. We have people on this call that have been through it since 2017. We have investors that's been investing in this space since 2017, buying XRP, buying other cryptocurrencies, ISO tokens. So we have a wealth and a plethora of information. Guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Vincent Owens, the #1 cryptocurrency coach in the world. I host this call every Tuesday and Thursday in the morning for you guys to come for free to gather this information so that you can change your life. And something that someone told me a long time ago was that if it's for free, it's for me. So understand that if it's for free, it's for VO. All right. And it should also be for you. Let's dive into this bullish content. Just go ahead and drop some coffee if you're ready, because I have a lot of value to bring today. We really don't have time to play around. Welcome, welcome to the rabbit hole, and I hope you do not get lost. And if you do get lost, all right, feel free to let me know, all right, and we will get you rolling. All right, sorry about that. I was looking at some homes. Y'all already know, man. Look, I got multiple hustles, all right? Multiple hustles. But with that being said, let's dive into this bullish content. So what we have to start with is this clip right here. And that's a 14-minute video. If you want to go watch the whole thing, you can go over to YouTube and go to Forbes Breaking News. Forbes Breaking News. Just in, Vice President Kamala Harris toots the USD's digital inclusion efforts in Lusaka, Zambia. All right, so right now, what you guys are going to experience. Let me come back to the screen real quick. I need y'all to realize something, Miss Janet. I need you to hear this, Miss Janet. All right. Shout out to Miss Janet. But I need you to hear this, Miss Janet. All right. What's going on right now is that we have all this discrepancy in the US about cryptocurrencies and digital assets, but then our leaders, our captains, right, are over here in other countries helping them increase their digital platforms. I'm so confused. That's why I said I'm confused this morning. I was confused last night as I found this information. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring this confusion over to this morning so I could join y'all to make sure that we all are just as confused on this call. All right, so with that being said, let's go listen to Kamala Harris. Now drop a 7 if this is your queen, all right? This ain't my queen, but drop a 7. She a black queen, so she's a queen. But drop a 7 if this is your queen. All right, but with that being said, let's dive into this bullish content.
I strongly believe from hearing from youth and from lessons learned, there are many areas of focus of this public-private partnership, but there are some in particular that I believe have been most effective and are the main focus of my trip this time. And one of them is the issue of digital inclusion. So when we think about where we are in terms of 21st century economies, digital services are essential to 21st century economies. Digital technologies facilitate opportunities across society, and frankly, I believe can be great equalizers in terms of giving those who have access equal opportunity and availability to information, to education, to networks in a way that improves and empowers themselves, their families, their community, and all of society benefits. And of course, when we talk about digital access, we are talking about everything from financial inclusion to economic opportunities, all of which obviously drive growth and innovation. Africa's digital economy is large and growing. Within the next 2 years, for example, the forecast is that 1 in 6 of the world's internet users will be right here on this continent.
1 in 6 of the world's internet users will be on the continent of Africa. Listen up, y'all.
1 in 6. Over the last decade, Africa has continued growth in its digital infrastructure. Examples include innovative mobile phone payment systems in Kenya, fintech in Nigeria, and the delivery of health supplies by a drone in Ghana that has been replicated in the United States. All to say, there are places on the continent of Africa that are leading the world in digital solutions. Yet, in other places on the continent, we see that there is a lag and that there are many who lag behind. And we must be clear about the challenges presented to close these gaps and then commit to take action, because solutions are within sight and within reach. So to address this, last December at the US-Africa Leaders Summit, President Joe Biden launched the Digital Transformation with Africa initiative. It is a government initiative, so it has an acronym, and it is DTA.
So President Biden has launched this digital initiative in Africa, right? So you got that happening, but then over here in America, there's this digital framework. There's these warnings that's coming out by the SEC. There's these warnings, but it ain't that many warnings happening in Africa. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it seems to me like they're really trying to crash this system. They're really trying to crash our economy. They're really trying to like stifle the innovation, and they're trying hard. This ain't even like, they're not even like, I thought they were like, excuse my language, y'all. I thought they were dumb, right? That's what I thought, but they're not. They're doing this on purpose. That's what I'm getting from this. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video, and then we got a few more videos to dive into before we dive into Hedera. Let's go.
So you will see it referred to often as DTA, but the president is very excited about this initiative, as am I. And it is part of a broader initiative and approach that is named the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, or PGII. And President Biden, through these initiatives, has pledged to work with the United States Congress to invest $350 million and to facilitate nearly $500 million in development financing to make sure that people across the continent can participate in the digital and global economy.
Let's just pause it right there. So you got Kamala Harris, you got Joe Biden, you got the Democratic Party that's focused on sending millions of dollars, almost $1 billion, millions of dollars over to Africa to help them with their digital inclusion into what is happening right now, this revolution. So you guys got to understand, this is not about crypto, all right? Not just about crypto, right? This is all the digital, everything happening within the digital world. We're talking about, right, the move from the industrial revolution, right? The first, the second, the third to the fourth industrial revolution. We're talking about Web 1 to Web 2 to now what's called Web 3. And I'm gonna be real with you guys, right? We're so far behind. You should go watch episode. Ms. Zuli, remember this. I know Ms. Zuli and Billy remember this, but remember we talked about Web 4 a long time ago? We probably need to do a Web 4 conversation again, closer. Maybe next week sometime we'll do a Web 4 conversation. But I need y'all to realize that you're so far behind, right? Listen, the reason why I wanted to talk about Hedera Hashgraph is because some people are just getting plugged into blockchain. Do you understand that blockchain is old technology? Like the new thing is Hashgraph. There's a whole new thing now. And I know that somebody told me before, they was like, man, you think you're explaining this on an elementary level, and we be sitting here just confused as hell. And I said, listen, I told them, well, just keep showing up to the show. Just keep coming. All right, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better with explaining this in the elementary level. But sometimes it's hard to go back because we're on episode number 94 right now, family. We got people that's been here for 94 episodes, right? So you got to go back. If you really want this information, you got to go to the YouTube channel and do the research and go through 94 episodes. You got to go do that. I can't make you do that. You got to do that. I've done it for myself. I'm already wealthy. I'm rich. I've hit my goal on XRP, and we still are accumulating it. Come on, family. Let's get to this bullish content. All right. I'm gonna make sure. Look, I don't want to go too crazy today. I gotta make sure I'm a little calm. I gotta make sure I'm a little collected. I make sure I'm relaxing. All right, I got you. I got you. I got you. You know who I'm talking to. I got you. I love you. All right, let's dive into this information now. In the U.S. dollar's global supremacy erodes, America will face a reckoning like none before, says Fareed Zakaria. All right, I need you guys to. This is on CNN. Now remember, CNN is news propaganda. So there is some propaganda here. They're showing you the narrative that they want you to see. But we still need to see these narratives so we know how to play, right? Do as they do. Do not do what they say. You have to do what they do, not do what they say. When you understand that, that is how you gain wealth.
Here's my take. The most interesting outcome of the three-day summit between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping got limited media attention. Describing their talks, Putin said, "We are in favor of using the Chinese yuan for settlements between Russia and the countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America." So, the world's second largest economy and its largest energy exporter are together actively trying to dent the dollar's dominance as the anchor of the international financial system. Will they succeed? The dollar is America's last surviving superpower. It gives Washington unrivaled economic and political muscle. It can slap sanctions on countries unilaterally which frees that country out of large parts of the world economy. And Washington can spend freely, certain that its debt will be bought up by the rest of the world. The war against Ukraine, combined with Washington's increasingly confrontational approach to China, have created a perfect storm in which both Russia and China are accelerating efforts to diversify away from the dollar. Their central banks are keeping less of their reserves in dollars, and most trade between them is being settled in the yuan. They are also making efforts to get other countries to follow suit. The Biden administration has handled the economic war against Russia extremely effectively by building a coalition of almost all the world's advanced economies. That makes it hard to escape from the dollar into other highly valued stable currencies like the euro or the pound or the Canadian dollar, because those countries are also warring with Russia. What might have been a sharper turning point for the dollar's role was Donald Trump's decision in May 2018 to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal. The European Union was strenuously opposed to this move, but it watched as the dollar's dominance meant that Iran was immediately excluded from the world economy. Jean-Claude Juncker, then president of the European Commission, proposed enhancing the euro's role internationally to shield the continent from what he called selfish unilateralism. The Commission outlined a path to achieve this. It hasn't happened. There remain too many fundamental doubts about the future of the euro itself. Dollar dominance is firmly entrenched for many good reasons. A globalized economy needs a single currency for ease and efficiency. The dollar is stable. You can buy and sell it anytime, and it's governed largely by the market and not the...
Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all, like for real, did y'all hear what he said? He said a single currency is needed for global, for this global, wow, new world order. It's here, y'all. And it literally, like, if you can't see it by now, man, look, you might want to go holler at Ray Charles or somebody, man, who, you know what I mean? Because even they can see it.
The whims of a government. That's why China's efforts to expand the yuan's role internationally have not worked. Ironically, if Xi Jinping wanted to cause the greatest pain to America, he would liberalize his financial sector and make the yuan a true competitor to the dollar. But that would take him in the direction of markets and openness that is the opposite of his current domestic goals. All that said, Washington's weaponizing of the dollar over the last decade has led many important countries to search for ways to make sure that they do not become the next Russia. The numbers are revealing. The share of dollars in global central bank reserves has dropped from roughly 70% 20 years ago to less than 60% today and falling steadily. The Europeans and the Chinese are trying to build international payment systems outside the dollar-dominated SWIFT. Saudi Arabia has flirted with the idea of pricing its oil in yuan. India is settling most of its oil purchases from Russia in non-dollar currencies. Digital currencies might be another alternative, and in fact, China's central bank has created one. All of these alternatives add costs. But the last few years should have taught us that increasingly nations are willing to pay a price when they want political goals to trump economic ones. We keep searching for the single replacement for the dollar, and there will not be one. But could the currency suffer weakness by 1,000 cuts? That seems a more likely scenario. The author and investor Ruchir Sharma points out, right now, for the first time in my memory, we have an international financial crisis in which the dollar has been weakening rather than strengthening.
Wow.
I wonder if this is a sign of things to come. If it is, Americans should worry. I spoke last week about the bad geopolitical habits Washington has developed because of its unrivaled unipolar status. It's even more true economically. America's politicians have gotten very used to spending seemingly without any concern about deficits. Public debt in America has risen almost fivefold, from roughly $6.5 trillion 20 years ago to $31.5 trillion today.
In 20 years, he went from $6.5 trillion in debt to $31.5 trillion in debt and rising, right? And rising. I think this ain't even up to date right here. This is like, we above this. So guys, like, I'm not here. Some people gonna on YouTube might call me a fear mongerer. I've heard that word run around. They ain't called me that yet, but I heard them call somebody else a fear mongerer. So I just want to let y'all know I'm not a fear mongerer. Like, hey, look, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm trying to figure out what we need to do to make sure that I want to make sure my people is good. If you're on this show, I want to make sure that you guys are good, that you guys know what's going on. That's why the show is free. Like, literally, that's why I don't make this just for my private Discord group. I open this up to everybody because in these times, some people can't afford mentorship, but you can afford to get on for free and just grab this information and just learn this stuff and keep showing up for you and your family. Just the way to look at it. Now let's dive into it. Now you got Christine Lagarde, who's the president of the European Central Bank, all right, who also spoke. And so this is a 5-minute video, guys. I know these videos are a little lengthy, but like I said, today's heavy on the videos, and I want to make sure that you guys hear not just directly from me, because I know what I'm talking. At this point, I know what I'm talking about, right? But I want to make sure that you guys can also hear from people that are more qualified than me on paper, okay? So that y'all know I ain't just making this stuff up. Let's get it.
Well, two things. Number one, it will be decided in October. So we are preparing the ground. We want to be ready. We want to be trained, but it will not be decided until October 23. Mm-hmm. The reason I'm personally convinced that we have to move ahead is a situation like the one we are in now. We are dependent on the supply of gas by a very unfriendly country. I don't want Europe to be dependent on an unfriendly country's currency. For instance, I don't know, the Chinese currency, the Russian currency, the whatever, or dependent on a friendly currency, but which is activated by a private corporate entity like Facebook or like Google or anybody like.
All right, so let's stop there real quick. All right, I want to talk to you guys because she talked about a private corporate entity, right? That could step in. And I've said this before on this call. Let me come up here real quick. All right, listen, Google and Apple are not technology companies. What are Google and Apple? Somebody drop it in the chat box. What is Google and Apple? It's one word. One word. What is Google and Apple? Because they're not technology companies anymore, right? They've upgraded. They've upgraded. What do you think Google and Apple is? Well, let me tell you, Google and Apple are banks. If you didn't know, Google and Apple have transitioned to becoming banks. Okay. They are, CIA, but they have turned to become banks. You got to understand that Apple Pay, Google Pay, they give you a debit card now for Apple Pay. These are banks. We're talking about fintech companies, financial technology. So they're not just tech companies, right? But they are financial technology companies now. Google, Apple could potentially put out the banks. If Google and Apple were like, hey, you know what? If regulation that came so fast for cryptocurrency, hear me out. If regulation that came so fast for cryptocurrency here in the United States, Apple and Google would have started using crypto, right? They would have been using They would have been using cryptocurrency to take these faster payments. And then the banks would have been out of business because nobody even needs to go to the bank when you have Apple Pay and your money can sit in there and I can take my card and I can swipe. Y'all feel me? So these are fintech companies. I just wanted to give y'all some food for thought, something that they're not going to tell you, right? Because honestly, why would they tell you this, right? You got to count on me to tell you this, right? Let's get to it.
User of Bitcoin too, so I had bought it when it started, and I hope that it also will work through the special system And I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
You know, it's the beauty of Europe. There's different positions. If you ask in Northern Europe, for instance, in the Netherlands, they're quite happy to see the e-euro coming. If you ask a young German man, he'll say, yeah, fine. As I said, I don't want Meta, Google, or Amazon to suddenly come up with a currency that will take over the sovereignty of Europe. I don't want a foreign currency to become the currency of trading within Europe. So we have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you're on the gray market. Then you take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But you know, the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, you know, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
You know that the question is now I think that it's a joke, like a joke, that the next currency will be firewoods for Europe.
Will be what?
Firewoods. To hit
Said, shut up.
Yeah.
So it's like a joke. It's like a joke from Russian side.
Wasn't funny.
Well, they can get lost.
That can get lost.
And my question is, do you think that the policy of previous authorities with the IMF, I mean Poroshenko, led to a crisis? Because I got many terrible situation in economics when I became a president. So because he probably has stole some loans for Ukraine for his interests, and we forced it to raise the pensions and tariffs for a long time, and it led to the critical situation, and Russia used it.
You know, I think, first of all, I think the IMF did the best that it could do to help and support Ukraine. You know as well as I do that the country was not in perfect shape. You know as well as I do that there were some very strange characters who abused the situation, who had their own militias, who had their own system that certainly took advantage of what was tried both by the IMF, by the United States in order to help Ukraine. But, you know, you cannot rewrite history. And I think that at the time, the loan by the IMF, the program that was initiated was necessary, and had it not happened, would have been devastating for Ukraine. So was it 100% well implemented? Certainly not.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you very much. I'm really
Thank you.
All right. So now we have dollar dominance, euro dominance, pound dominance. All of these countries, mega countries, are starting to feel it, right? And so let's continue to push forward. Okay. Then you have Elizabeth Warren, right? I got to keep showing y'all the narratives, all the negative things, positive things that's happening, right? We got to make sure that we know what our leaders globally, not just in the US, are talking about when it comes to just financial crisis, right? Ultimately. So this is Elizabeth Warren. talking about Bitcoin and how it has no value because it's not backed by governments, less valuable than art because you can't throw darts at it. That's what she said.
With Bitcoin, there's no thing that backs it up. And that's what makes it different. It's just belief. You and I assess. You assess the value is going to go down. I assess it's going to go up, and therefore I buy.
So it's more like this artwork.
No, because at the end of the day, I'm getting that thing on my wall.
Right.
And I can enjoy it,
But you
or
could
I
sell
can
it.
throw darts at it.
You could sell it for money.
Sure you can. I mean, there are features about it that are the same, but it's not the same. And look, one of the things we have to remember about, there are a lot of things that come within this crypto world. So for example, we could be talking about, instead of Bitcoin, we could be talking about digital currency. Now that's something very different.
I think that's different too. I buy that. I accept that.
That's
Yeah.
right, because that's a government-backed electronic transfer. And it can be denominated in dollars, it can be denominated in euros, it can be denominated in.
Did y'all just hear that? She literally just endorsed central bank digital currencies. We don't need to hear anything more. All right, now let's move on to Canada. Right, guys, we global on the show. We're not just talking about the US, we're talking about global things. Let's move on to Canada now. Okay, we told you guys a long time ago that there's a universal basic income that is going to be rolling out globally. Universal basic income, where they're going to just give you stuff, right? That is, if y'all didn't notice, that's why they gave us 3 to 4 stimulus checks. I think it was 3 of them, right? I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you, right? But they gave us some stimulus checks. They gave us some PPPs. They gave us some other stuff, right? And we literally showed them that if they give us stuff, we gonna take it. It's just like that Chinese lady standing outside that spot in the food court at the mall, and that chicken, that teriyaki chicken smelling good, that orange chicken. You know, they always try to get you the orange chicken or that teriyaki chicken. All right. So when you get that sample, you can walk by and say no. They gonna put that sample in your hand. When you taste it, ooh, let me get the whole plate, large with a drink and some fried rice, right? So that's what they're doing right now all around the world. Listen up.
Budget we just put forward, I want to draw your attention to something we put in on page 34, a new grocery rebate for Canadians. You're a couple with 2 kids, you could get over $450. Let me take a minute to tell you why we created it and how it's going to support you. Canadians have been feeling the impacts of inflation, which has meant higher prices on everything. And even though inflation is starting to come down now, we see food prices remaining stubbornly high, which is why we needed to take action. In the fall, we moved forward with the GST tax credit, which put hundreds of dollars in the pockets of middle-class families, and the grocery rebate builds on that, delivering targeted support to 11 million Canadians. And because people need that help as soon as possible, we're going to put forward that legislation quickly and hope that all parliamentarians support it. After it passes and becomes law, eligible Canadians will get their one-time payment automatically. This is just one part of our plan to make life more affordable. We'll be cracking down on junk fees, the unexpected, hidden, and additional fees on goods and services. We'll be lowering credit card transaction fees to help small businesses, and we'll be
lowering credit card transaction fees. I wonder how they're going to do that.
moving forward on dental care, making it more accessible and affordable for more Canadians.
Dental care. I wonder how they're going to do that to make that more accessible and affordable.
There's a lot in budget 2023, so be sure to check back often as we unpack what's in it, how we're going to continue helping you in making life more affordable.
All right, so this is what's happening in Canada. All over the world. You got this universal basic income is rolling out in Canada in the form of a grocery rebate. All right. So, I mean, maybe that's not completely it, right? However, these are tools for them to roll out. How do you think you're going to get this money? You're not going to get it in cash. You're going to get it in a digital currency. Now, CNN Business, OPEC producers announce voluntary oil output cuts. If you guys didn't know, this came out on Sunday. Saudi Arabia and other OPEC plus countries, oil producers on Sunday, announced voluntary cuts to their production with Riyadh, all right, saying, and if you don't know who Riyadh is, I believe Riyadh is the president of Nigeria. Yeah, he's the president of Nigeria, Riyadh, saying it would cut output by 500,000 barrels per day from May until the end of 2023. All right, this is huge, right? Russia's deputy prime minister also said Moscow would extend a voluntary cut of 500,000 barrels a day until the end of 2023. The United Arab, Kuwait, Iraq, Oman, and Algeria said they would voluntarily cut output over the same time period. The UAE said it would cut production by 144,000. Kuwait announced 128, right? Algeria said 48,000. The Saudi Energy Ministry said in a statement that the kingdom's voluntary cut was precautionary measure amid a measure aimed at supporting the stability of the oil market, right? We're about to go to war. War is on the rise. Anytime they start doing stuff like this with oil and we going to war. America does not play that. We do not ask for forgiveness. We come over there with bombs and weapons of mass destruction, and that's how America gets down, period, right? We've seen it since the Cold War, since Vietnam, since all these wars have been circumferenced around oil, and now it's oil still, but now currency. This might be the biggest one yet, y'all. China's RMB becomes Brazil's second largest international reserve currency. So you literally have China's yuan, right? Digital yuan or yuan becomes Brazil's second largest international reserve currency, right? Now, it did not flip, okay? It did not flip, I believe, the US dollar yet, right? But for it to step up, right, it surpassed the euro. Why do you think Christine Lagarde is worried? Because they're the European Central Bank, and even China's yuan, China's RMB is replacing it, guys. We got to see what's happening. Now, let's take this thing to the charts. This is your dollar. This is your DXY, which is your dollar strength index. As y'all can see, I'm looking at this on the weekly chart. Since October of last year, we've seen what? The US dollar falling, right? And it's been falling hard. It went from about 114 all the way down to where we're at 101. All right. I remember back during COVID, this green line, I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? This green line right here, let me see. Yep, here it is, 2020. This back when we was trading. Some of y'all remember this. This green line right here in the Forex world was the line back in the day when we watched COVID happen, right? Literally, it retested this level and the US dollar shot up, all the way up, right? I'm gonna be real with y'all. If we really go take a look at this, I'm gonna show y'all something, right? Back in, what is this? Back in 1985, the US dollar was worth 164. If we scroll all the way back to 2023, we're all the way down. So technically, if y'all want to be really real, right, the US dollar has been losing dominance since the 80s. Just a little, just a little sugar for your coffee this morning. All right, a little brown sugar for your coffee this morning. All right. Now, while the US dollar is going down, since November of last year, October, the US dollar was going down. We can see gold going up. So the price of gold has been increasing bullishly and creating a nice uptrend, okay, ever since November of last year, while the dollar is weakening. Let's keep going forward, right? You got Japan breaks with the US. Okay, Japan breaks with US allies, buys Russian oil at price above cap, citing energy needs. Tokyo won exception to rules binding G7 nations. So now you have even Japan saying, man, we're not messing with you, US, right? More headlines. UBS, which was the bank that took over Credit Suisse. All right, we've talked about this on the last episodes. All right, they're getting ready to cut their workforce by up to 30% after they took over Credit Suisse. So you have more companies that are lowering the amount of people that work there. Again, artificial intelligence will take your job. I promise you, there's not a job that is safe for AI. It will get there one day. Okay. Now, we have all this stuff that's happening, and now you have the Federal Reserve that's starting to pick it up. And the reason why they're so against crypto is because they have their own plan, and their own plan is to issue out what's called the Fed Now system, which will be their new faster payment system, which we will see a Federal Reserve coin, a CBDC, roll out. Now, listen to this gentleman and this lady talk about it.
Firstly, help us understand what Fed Now is exactly.
Well, it is a settlement system for transactions, for financial transactions, that is offered by the Fed and run by the Fed. In that sense, it's not really new either, because in other countries we have these systems already run by the central banks, and they've been in place for a long time, and there have been no issues. So it is possible to have the system, and it can run smoothly, and doesn't need to be a cause for concern, and can increase speed of settlement and things like that. What is concerning is that we know that this has not been introduced so far in the United States. And why is it just rolled out right now at a time when we do have concerns about the intentions of the central planners, because they have told us about those intentions. And central planners at the central banks have said, oh, banks, there are too many banks. And well, you know, we need to improve the system by having more centralization. Well, that together with this introduction now is somewhat suspicious. And I think that is really actually the underlying reason why we have still worries about the banking system at the moment in the US. If you have the central bank on your side as a bank, and in general the banking system, then it's rare that you have bank runs. But I think what people have realized is, well, hang on, there's a conflict of interest. You know, the central bankers want to compete against banks. So we can't really trust them anymore to really take the benevolent, you know, policies that are good for society and create stability. Maybe there's a different agenda. Maybe it's all about rolling out their central bank digital currency. And you see, that's why this is, you know, a genuine concern. And really the central planners, the burden is on them to demonstrate that they actually have everyone's benefit.
Okay, I'm reloaded. I'm gonna skip through some of this stuff, y'all. I'm gonna skip through Euroclear. Right, these are just things that's happening. I had a bunch of stuff to show y'all, man, but we'd be here for hours, y'all. I'll be on this thing for hours. This is a document that came out. I'll drop it in the Discord group, but this is from the Financial Services Regulatory Authority out in, I believe this is the AUE. So this was a report that came out where they talked about crypto assets, the framework, the features, the regulatory requirements. So when they sit here and they're telling us that there's no regulation for crypto, that is absolute BS, family. That's absolute BS. Hear me. Every country has a regulatory agenda for cryptocurrency, right? They just have to roll out the central bank digital currencies. That way they can tokenize everything. Because in order to buy anything, you need money, right? So the thing is, they had to shut the banks down. They had to shut everything down because they needed to switch this currency over to a central bank digital currency. Once that CBDC is completely rolled out, family, the next thing that we will see is we will see everything that we know become tokenized, from real estate, carbon credits, stocks and bonds, insurance. Everything will be tokenized on the blockchain, and there will be a certain amount of blockchains that will be left right around, the same way that there's only Google and Amazon. You don't even got Kmart no more to go to shopping at, y'all. You can't even do layaway, right? Can't even do layaway at Kmart no more. Man, got me messed up. All right, now let's keep pushing forward. Okay, now you got XRP Healthcare. Now I wanted to bring this up. I brought this, and I thought this was dope because we listened to Christine Lagarde talk about how healthcare is going to be cheaper. In fact, no, that wasn't him. That was actually Canada. That was the president of Canada talking about healthcare being cheaper, right? We just watched that. Now you have XRP Healthcare reveals Africa expansion plans. We talked about XRP Healthcare. Shout out to Mo. He talked about that at the end of one of our episodes. But you have XRP, which is the fastest blockchain in the world, that now is acquiring private healthcare institutions, and they're merging. So you have mergers and acquisitions happening in the private healthcare institutions in Africa. So you have the president and the vice president of the US going over to Africa to help with digitization. Then you have Ripple, which is a US based company that's being sued by the SEC that's over in Africa saying, hey, we want to compete in the healthcare system here in Africa and help improve that. None of this is a coincidence. Then you have the Bank of International Settlements with Project Aura. I'd recommend that y'all go and research Project Aura. Just write that down real quick. But I need to go ahead and take the rest of this time and dive into Hedera Hashgraph. I know we got, look, how about this? How about this real quick, guys? Do this with me real quick. We went through a lot. Do this with me real quick, y'all. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that. I want to show you, like, look, anytime y'all feeling overwhelmed, I felt overwhelmed. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, breathe in, breathe out. That's how I make it through the rabbit hole. That's how I get through this information. I breathe in and I breathe out. Okay. Y'all good? Drop some coffee in the chat box. Drop some sevens if we're good to move forward. Okay. If you can't take no more, I appreciate you for hopping on the show. I understand everybody can only take so much of certain things. I don't blame you. All right. This is not for everybody. It's for the right people. Okay. So if you're the right person, just stick around for a few more minutes and we're going to break down one of the top blockchain companies in the world, Hedera Hashgraph, and actually, excuse me, not blockchain, Hashgraph companies in the world. Let's get to it. Now, Brian Brooks, who was this, who we know who Brian Brooks is, right? He was the past president, he was the former acting U.S. comptroller of the currency. So he was over, Brian Brooks was over the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, right? So this guy controlled the currency for a while, okay? He was on board with Coinbase. Hedera just brought this gentleman on the board of Hedera Hashgraph, okay? So I'm gonna break this down so you guys understand why. Now I told y'all that I've increased my holdings of Hedera HBAR. I've increased it as of last night because I found so much valuable information. Now follow me here, y'all. You gotta follow me to the end. Check this out. So Brian Brooks tweets out, great work by Hedera and possibly something that will improve the administration's perception of crypto utility in the public sphere. Okay, if you guys didn't know, last episode we talked about this right here. Okay, this came out on March 29th. Private sector commitments to advance democracy. All right, if we scroll down, you'll see a bunch of companies, Cloudflare. You'll see Google committing $2 million and 100,000 security keys to support human rights defenders. You got Meta enabling secure private connections and countering government's abuse of digital technology, right? You have 25 companies joining the global initiative to galvanize the private sector as partners in combating corruption. You got Amazon, Google, Johnson & Johnson, all the top companies, Walmart, Tesla, all these companies, right? But then if I go control F right here and I type in Hedera, Hedera is the only crypto and blockchain-based company, okay, that is on this document from the White House. Okay, what are they doing? Hedera commits to coveting a democracy roundtable on how blockchain technologies can and are supporting human rights, transparency, and sustainability. Current democracy-related applications of blockchain include government systems accountability, fighting misinformation, reducing data manipulation, and tracking financial flows. Hedera will invite companies, trade associations, advocacy groups, academics, and government officials publicly share a summary of the discussion and make recommendations of the next steps. Hedera is king. Hedera is killing it. Now, let's go and look at who Hedera truly is, right? It's an open source public ledger for identity, for everyone, right? For builders. But if we scroll down here and we take a look, right? They've now completed, all right? They're doing 40 million transactions every 24 hours, okay? It takes 5 seconds to complete any type of data transfer, all right? It takes less than a penny fee to do it, and the energy is so low. So Hedera is true green energy. I want you all to see this. Who is their governing council? You will not go into any other cryptocurrency company's website in the world, except for Ripple, and see this many names, okay? You have Avery Dennison, Boeing, Chainlink, DBS, Dell, T-Mobile, IBM, Google, LG, any and everybody, okay? All these companies are the governing council of Hedera Hashgraph. There's a reason why I'm showing this, okay? Pay attention. So, Visa and MasterCard, okay, the 2 largest credit companies, have paused their crypto push in the wake of an industry meltdown. This came out on March 1st. All right, now, I was sitting at Topgolf. Okay, I want to share this with y'all. I was sitting inside of Topgolf, and I was getting ready to go golfing, okay? And I saw a commercial while I was sitting at the bar, and it literally it was a MasterCard commercial. And it said, and at the end of the commercial, it said MasterCard blockchain. It said MasterCard blockchain on the commercial. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Then I turned around, fam, and I found this. You're welcome. MasterCard on their website, crypto and blockchain, central bank digital currencies. 90% of central banks are engaged in some form of CBDC work. This is on MasterCard's website. They are literally helping build this foundation. Then they have a white paper. They even have a white paper. And I went ahead and uploaded the white paper for y'all, right? And I'll drop this inside of our Discord group. But this was from January of 2022. They put this out. How MasterCard can support central banks in their exploration of central bank digital currencies. And we know MasterCard is a partner of who? Ripple. Ripple, right? Visa has a partnership with who? Ripple. Let's keep pushing forward. The World Economic Forum pushed out this article on March 30th of 2023. Only the hottest information from my family. Only the hottest information from my family. All right, check this out. Okay, how we can create an international framework for privacy, preserving digital ID. If you guys didn't know, the reason why money's going digital, everything's going digital, your passports, your birth certificates, everything is going digital, social security numbers, everything is going digital, family, for one reason and one reason only, right? And the reason why it's going digital is because the World Economic Forum has their agenda. I wanted to just show y'all something real quick, right? So if we scroll down on this right here, right? An estimated 850 million people lack official identifications, right? So that is the stats in the world. But if we scroll on down, right? They talk about crypto right here on the World Economic Forum, right? If we scroll on down, they talk about the limitations of Web 2, right? That inherently relies upon central intermediaries, facilitate the sharing, right, of verified information. But if we scroll down just a little more. What's that logo right there, family? What is that right there? What is that? Hold up, let me look at this right here. Look at this. You take a look at this. Can somebody take a look at this? Right? Can somebody take a look at this? Right? Somebody please take a look at this. Okay. You got Hedera, right? Hedera hash graph on the World Economic Forum when they're talking about digital ID. Man, I had to buy me some more. Right now, check this out. HBAR Foundation and Ubisoft partner to support growth of gaming on Hedera network. So now games are moving. Let's keep pushing forward, right? Shinhan Bank furthers digital transformation plans, joining the Hedera Governing Council. Let's keep pushing forward. ServiceNow. If you guys don't know what that is, ServiceNow is a cloud-based platform, okay, which delivers digital workflows that create great experiences and unlock productivity for enterprises, right? So this is for enterprise grade businesses, right? They are a part of Hedera. You can literally look right here, Hedera. Let's keep pushing forward, right? LSE, right? Who is the London School of Economic and Political Science, joins Hedera Governing Council to advance blockchain research for social good. Let's keep pushing forward, family, right? LG directly on the Hedera network, right? Look at this right here. Our platform is designed to allow millions of users to easily assess and display NFTs on the Hedera network without worrying about the high energy consumption associated with other public networks. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. We getting close. IIT, who is the India's Institute of Technology Madras, joins Hedera Governing Council to drive research and development in new blockchain use cases. Let's keep moving forward, family. I can't stop. IBM and Tata Communication joined Hedera back in 2019. Let's keep pushing forward. This is on Google Cloud's website. I can't make this. This is on Google. This ain't even on Hedera. Working with Hedera Hashgraph to support the next generation of distributed ledger technology. I told y'all they're a bank. Let's keep pushing forward. Introducing the 5 initial Hedera Governing Council members. This is from 2019. There were 5 original members, right? 5 original members. You had Dutch Telecom. You had DLA Piper. You have Magazine Louisa. I don't even know none of these. Okay. Swisscom Blockchain. You got these companies that were originally with Hedera. Chainlink Labs on Hedera. Keep going. Look at this. The world's largest aircraft manufacturer joins Hedera Hashgraph. Boeing. Let's keep going, right? DBS is the first bank in Southeast Asia to join Hedera Governing Council. Let's go again. MTech is enabling global financial inclusion by leveraging technology to transform financial ecosystems. There's 2 billion unbanked people worldwide. Through the Hedera public blockchain, MTech is helping central banks safely engage their ecosystem in a way that drives financial literacy, trust, and capacity building. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. Woo! If y'all have not bought no HBAR by now, this is not financial advice, but I'm telling you right now, this coin is going to the moon. And I got my bags fully packed. When I say fully, fully packed, locked and loaded, locked and loaded. Let's go. It's still cheap, locked and loaded. All right. So with that being said, I want to open up the line for any people that has anything you like, learned, or love from today's episode. Would love to get you to raise your hand and just share something. I know today's episode was a lot. I know it took a lot of energy. I want to shout out. All the new people. I want to shout out some new names I see here. Charles Branch, Velma Dillard. Appreciate you, Mama Dillard, for hopping on. Definitely appreciate your time. Let me see. Fred, shout out to Fred on the line. All right. That's and those are my people that's here on Zoom. And I want to say shout out to everybody on YouTube that took the time to pop in today. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for helping me get there as we're on our way to monetizing this. If you have anything that you would like to say, any gratitude, anything that you want, just raise your hand up here on the side. Just use that little emoji to raise your hand. And while I'm waiting on anybody to say anything, what I want to say is this, okay? Wait, boom, boom, boom. I have 6 slots left. Yeah, 6 slots. They keep going down. People are joining. I have 6 slots left for my private mentorship for the year. And I'm about to call on Mr. Branch. We got 6 slots left for the private mentorship for the year. So if you want to be a part of my one-on-one coaching, if you trust me as a coach, you want me to help you build out a portfolio, show you how I built out a 6-figure portfolio for myself, for some people in my family, for some of you guys on the call right now. If you need help doing that, plug in with me. After these 6 slots are gone, the price point will go up. Tomorrow's price will not be the price after these 6 slots is gone. I promise you. If there's anything I can promise you, I can promise you that. So plug in with me as soon as possible, family. I love you guys. I'm happy to be here. And I'm going to call on Mr. Branch because I know he's probably over at Cracker Barrel this morning.
Excuse me. Actually, I'm not. I cooked breakfast at home today. But I just wanted to comment when you were talking about like what's going on in Africa when they're trying to, it would seem, to extinguish the same thing in the United States. My take on that is Africa as a continent, there's a lot of friction in finances there. Things don't interoperate. It costs as much as 10% to send money. You got to wait 3, 4, 5, sometimes 2 weeks to get the money. So Africa is not into the FTX. They're not into the speculative of the Bitcoin. Everything they do is to help society. There's not one thing that you're going to find. Now, that's not to say there's absolutely nobody on the continent that's going to, buy a little Bitcoin. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is over here, FTX is blowing up. This is blowing up. Exchanges are being sued and they're being run through the mud. Over there, the only thing that takes place is what helps society. And I think when Kamala Harris went over there and saw that, like, what are you going to say bad? One other guy, I want to say it was either Jim Rickards or Jim Willie. Jim Willie is a PhD statistician. I think it was him. He said, you got 1.7 billion people that are unbanked. And the reason for that is some don't live by banks. The banks have all these hoops you got to jump through. They're not jumping through. He said, but every last one of them got cell phones. Even folks in the bush got cell phones. He said, you give them a digital wallet and all of a sudden they're banked. And that's what's taking place in Africa. All these folks have cell phones, they have digital wallets, and they can send money anywhere they need to now at a great relief when it comes to speed of transaction and settlement and cost. And over here, for lack of a better term, there's a lot of folks betting on crypto on the speculative end. And so, hey, that's just my take, and I'll let somebody else, have something to say.
I appreciate it, Mr. Branch. Thank you so much for your time. And I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you in what you had to say. Thank you so much for the wisdom. I'm going to call on iPhone 2. I'm not sure. iPhone 2 is actually Kanira. Kanira, you can unmute.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. I'm one of, I've been down with Vincent. I've been in and out. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've been like in and out, because it's hard out here. It's to be strong. It's not just about crypto and it's about everything that's going on in the world. You got to think about how the negativity, social that you see on social media, your bills, they keep coming. You feel me? Just life. A lot of life stuff happens, and the economy is getting crazy. everybody pulling you this way and that way. But one thing I can say, and that I want to say, and I want to commend my brother Vincent, is from the day I met him, I don't know, Lord Jesus, remind me later. Since the day that I met him, he's always been consistent. And the same thing since 2017 that I've been hearing about, like XRP. And I heard of HBAR, Hedera, like, Hedera, I've been hearing the same things. And it's getting to the point where it's just like, if y'all not getting it, you're not getting it. You got to get left behind. So it's just like, thank you, brother, for, staying consistent and helping us, because you don't have to. You really don't. Like, you don't have to help us try to beat the curve. And you dropped a lot of knowledge today. And I want to thank you. And I appreciate you to keep going. And I appreciate this knowledge.
Absolutely.
I really do.
I didn't know we've been rocking since 2018, Kanara. Like
2017.
Damn. Yo, I've been in this space. Hey, y'all heard it here first. We've been in this. Yo, I've been doing this since 2017. This is crazy, yo. This is crazy. Like 10 years will be 2027. That's almost here. Wow. Thank you, Kanara. Appreciate you. Let me call on hey, look, I didn't make this. I didn't even pay her to say that today. Sometimes I pay people to say stuff nice about me. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. But sometimes I didn't even pay her to be here today to say that. So that's a beautiful part. All right. She said that from the kindness of her heart. Thank you, Kanara. Now, other than that, let me call on Holy Cow. It's freaking Crawl Billy. Come on up. You know the people ready to hear from you, big bro. People's champ.
I hear you. My phone's liable to die. Look, I met two people yesterday. I was dream building. I'm doing my dream building. It seems a little silly sometimes. The guy had him $3,200 invested in a crypto exchange. I mean, I didn't even understand it. I said, when did you buy it? He said, well, about 5 years ago. I said, let's go get it right now. He said, he gave me that look. You know that look when they looked at their feet. He's a salesman, and I said, let's go get it right now. I said, okay. And then I ran into another guy put $50,000 in an account. He said, man, I'll have it with you if we can get it. And I'm looking at it. I said, Vincent, the coins, the things that I own, I really feel like they have utility, just like you're saying. The HBAR, it has so much proven utility. You've shown that. We see that. And I can't see how, I guess I can see how people get excited and don't do any research, but the research is there if you look for it, right? It's just so much, there's so much FUD out there, right? Yeah. So much FUD out there. You can't, it's hard to do it on your own. I mean, you almost have to have a coach to say, okay, let's verify it. Let's find out where to get it, where it's at, how to get it off, what it does, what's the utility going to be. Because if you just buy it because your friends say buy it just don't make no sense. But people spend thousands of dollars buying crap. So, if anybody on this line, just do some research. Get your coach. There's one right there, the blue shirt. Get you one that will do some work for you and with you. Vincent has a heart. He's gonna do some research. I did send you something yesterday on that fellow.
Well, I got it, and I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous to open it because I think it was on my phone, and it said something about I had to allow my Brave browser to open it. I was like, that's when I texted you. Was like, I don't know nothing about this one, Billy, because I ain't want to open nothing that's weird, and it messed my phone up.
So I opened it on his phone, and every time he clicked on it, it went away like it was blocking him. And I said, "This is what I told him, Coach. This is what I told him." I said, "Look, I like to be able to help you, but I cannot open this on my phone and try to get on it because this is my bank." I said, I can't risk looking at it, but I'll do some research and see if I can't help you.
Drop some coffee for Billy, man, because that right there shows me that Billy has grown and he's lost some money, and he said he will never, ever, ever get scammed again. Shout out to Billy.
I'm not going to do it as often, I tell you. The day's still young.
You're learning, man. I'm going to call up Miss Zuli. I think she has something to say. Go ahead, Miss Zuli.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Missed you. Thank you so much. Billy, it's always wonderful to hear you. It's wonderful to hear your stories and your experiences that you've had throughout the week. So thank you for sharing that. One of the things that this is a fantastic session. Of course, it was very tension building and scary at times. But one of the major concerns that I have in terms of looking at not only what just Christine Lagarde, but also the Canadian Prime Minister. And I think that that's really one of those of us out there, out in the field, and just prepare people not to get caught in the universal giveaways, because that's so harmful to people in terms of what are we creating. We're really creating another form of I don't know, I hate to use the word, of slavery, of lack of we were already losing our creativity, our imagination. We're losing so much. We're losing so much of our freedoms that is another way to hook us and be so dependent that we will never, ever get it back. So for us, we're very fortunate that we're in this space, learning as much as we can. But the millions of people out there that do not have a clue of what's happening, I think that it behooves us as part of our humanity, a part of our concerns about our caring and our love for humanity, to be able, just exactly what Billy's doing, what Vincent is doing, was, all of us here, to be able to share whatever piece of the pie that we can show, they can share. Do not have what's happening in Canada and in some other countries happen to the millions of us here in the U.S., not only here in the U.S., but whoever we know, wherever they are in wherever parts of the world. Dependency is not, poverty is already, it's humongous already. And let's not go there. Let's really work as hard as we can to make sure that we grow and share. Thank you, Vincent.
I love that. And we love in that background, the Z life. Dreams fulfilled. Make sure you all stay tuned. The Z life is on the way, and Ms. Zuli's doing some amazing things in the world. Make sure you all stay plugged in. I had a conversation with her yesterday, and I don't want to say nothing because it ain't my duty to say it. But there's some big things coming, and you guys can stay tuned and locked in with Ms. Zuli. If you don't know who she is, just go type her name into Google. That's all I'm gonna say. Just go type the name in Google. All right, y'all didn't know. Y'all heard it here first. Just type the name in Google. Y'all see who this amazing lady who is and what she's done. And the fact that she's even on Coffee and Crypto with my crazy behind is it really says a lot, because we're like polar opposites. Ms. Zuli is like this calm, just calm spirit, and I'm like this big tsunami or something at times, and so the fact that you're still here and you're still rocking with me, Zuli, it speaks volume, and I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So with that being said, guys, look, that was episode number, man, it was some episode something, man. We on the way to 100. You don't even gotta know how many episodes we in, because it's on YouTube. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all the new people. Hopefully y'all will come back on Thursday, same time, 10 a.m. If you're on the Zoom, same link. If you're on YouTube, you want to join us on the Zoom, click the link in my bio. Websites coming soon. New logos coming soon. Shirts, coffee, everything's coming for Coffee and Crypto, guys. It is our time. Thank y'all so much and have an amazing rest of your day.